Hello everyone. The board division of Resonance Adventures is back again with a new topic, and the topic for today from class 12th is Lost Spring, a chapter from Flamingo. Lost Spring is written by Anis Jung, and the theme of this chapter is social injustice and class inequalities. In this, the poet analyzes the grinding poverty and tradition which condemn these children to a life of exploitation, pain and lack of education. पोएट इस चैप्टर में इन लोगों की जो गरीबी की दुनिया है उसके बारे में बताती है कि कैसे ये गरीबी के कारण ज़िंदगी में कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं और इनको एक्सप्लॉयटेशन किया जाता है हमेशा अपर वर्ग द्वारा. This chapter, Lost Spring, is an excerpt from the book written by Anis Jung and उसका बुक का नाम है Lost Spring Stories of Stolen Childhood. This chapter is in two parts. इसके अंदर दो बच्चों की इंसिडेंट यहाँ पर बताई गई है. The first part is Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage and इस पार्ट के अंदर साहेब a rag picker कचरा बीनने वाला उसकी जिंदगी के बारे में बताया गया है. एंड इन द सेकंड पार्ट इट इज अबाउट अ बैंगल मेकर, अ बॉय हुज नेम इज मुकेश, एंड द टाइटल ऑफ पार्ट 2 इज आई वांट टू ड्राइव अ कार. इस चैप्टर के अंदर इट इज ऑल अबाउट द विक्टिम्स ऑफ चाइल्ड लेबर. बाल श्रम शोषण के जो शिकार है बच्चे, उनके बारे में ये पूरा चैप्टर बताया गया है. These unfortunate children are denied of education as well as the opportunity to have enjoyment. इन बच्चों को ज़िंदगी में कोई खुशियाँ नहीं है, ना इनको पढ़ने मिलता है, ना इनको खेलने कूदने मिलता है. एंड जिस उम्र में they should have enjoyed the life, they should have enjoyed the spring of life. The spring of the life was taken away from them. उनका जो बचपन था उनसे as good as छीन लिया गया था. The author इसके अंदर she does so by raising the awareness regarding the child education and strict law enforcement against the child labor. इस चैप्टर के जरिए ऑथर अनीस जंग वो अपनी आवाज़ उठाती है regarding the awareness for child education that the children should also be given the freedom of education and these child labor laws should be enforced एंड इम्प्लीमेंटेड. जो चाइल्ड लेबर का लॉ है वो लागू करना चाहिए सही ढंग से. एंड द कॉल इज टू पुट एन एंड टू द एक्सप्लॉयटेशन ऑफ चिल्ड्रन. अ पोएट द ऑथर अनीस जंग यही चाहती है कि जो चिल्ड्रन बच्चों का जो एक्सप्लॉयटेशन हो रहा है वो पूरी तरह से ख़त्म हो जाए. एंड इन दिस वे द चिल्ड्रन विल बी एबल टू एंजॉय द डेज ऑफ द स्प्रिंग एंड हैव फन. सो ऑथर यही चाहती है कि the spring which is taken away from them, the childhood which is lost of these children, ये उनको दोबारा ढंग से मिले and they also live the life like all the other children. The first part start करते हैं. It is sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage, all about Saheb a rag picker. Yes. The author, always in the streets of Delhi, she used to see children like Saheb and the other barefooted rag pickers. नंगे पाँव ये कचरे बीनने वालों को ऑथर देखती थी दिल्ली के सड़कों पे. One day she asked साहेब and asked what is his name. Why do you do this? ये क्यों करते हो? साहेब told I have nothing else to do. मेरे पास और कोई काम नहीं है कुछ करने को. Author told him why don't you go to school? स्कूल क्यों नहीं जाते हो? साहेब told there is no school in my neighborhood. मेरे घर के आसपास कोई स्कूल नहीं है. The author casually told साहेब if I build a school आओगे? साहेब said yes. कुछ दिनों बाद after few days साहेब met the author and वो author को पूछता है is your school ready? The author felt embarrassed at herself. उसको अपने आप पे शर्मिंदगी महसूस हुई because she had made a very casual promise, a promise which she could not fulfill. उसने तो मजाक में कहा था, ये वादा वो पूरा नहीं कर सकती थी, तो उसको काफ़ी शर्मिंदगी महसूस हुई. The author noticed the life of the rag pickers in Simapuri, which is a place on the outskirts of Delhi. ऑथर को पता चला ये सब सीमापुरी में रहते हैं. एंड वेर इज सीमापुरी? सीमापुरी इज ऑन द आउटस्कर्ट्स ऑफ दिल्ली. दिल्ली के काफ़ी करीब है, बट मेटाफोरिकली, comparatively, it is far far away from the reality of Delhi. Saib's family is one of them living in the lanes of Simapuri. These these rag pickers, when they came from Dhaka in the year 1971, जब वे आए, they came and settled to Simapuri. Simapuri was then a wilderness, बंजर था. No cultivation, no growth was possible over there. This place still is a wilderness, but it is no longer empty. अब ये जगह खाली नहीं है, because now 10,000 rag pickers are living in the miserable, filthy, dirty conditions in the bylanes of Simapuri. And these people from Bangladesh who have settled in Simapuri, which they came in 1971, they came here in search of survival, because there were many storms in Dhaka. So, for survival, they came and settled in this place, Simapuri. But the reality was, in fact, very painful for them, and they had to face many hardships. काफ़ी तकलीफ़ें उन लोगों को सहनी पड़ती थी इस जिंदगी के कारण. The author always noticed, something about the life of the rag pickers. These rag pickers, they lived in Simapuri. Simapuri was a wilderness, no cultivation possible. These rag pickers, they have no identity, no permit, but still they have a ration card which enables them to buy cheap grain. उनकी कोई पहचान, कोई अस्तित्व नहीं है, बट उसके बावजूद में उनके पास एक रेशन कार्ड है. बिकॉज द रेशन कार्ड, उनको सस्ता अनाज मिलता है, तो रैग पिकर्स हैप्पी. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ द रेशन कार्ड, it enables the name on the voters list. There is no other means of survival in Simapuri, and rag picking is the only means of survival in Simapuri. And children like Sahib, they also become partners in survival. Garbage is very, very precious to them. The author asks the elders, what is the meaning of garbage to you? The elders reply, garbage is their daily bread. Garbage is a roof over their head. So, garbage is a means of survival for the elders. But when the author asks Sahib, what is the meaning of garbage? कचरे का कितना importance है तुम्हारे लिए? साहिब की आंखों में चमक आ जाती है. He just tells that sometimes I find a rupee coin in the garbage, and when we find such precious things, ये दिल मांगे more, we keep on scrounging, we keep on searching more and more. So, the author realized that the meaning of garbage for the children and the elders is totally different. For the elders, garbage is only a means of survival, but for children like Sahib, garbage is a gift wrapped in wonders. They don't know कि आज इस gift pack में उनको क्या important चीज़ मिलेगी. The author always saw the children moving about barefooted, नंगे पाँव वो चलते थे. Now the author has started knowing mostly all of them. So she just asked them, she asked one of the boys, where is your chappal? A boy told that my mother did not bring it down from the shelf. मेरी माँ ने अलमारी से उतार कर नहीं दिए. One boy said that I have not worn shoes till date. I want shoes. Author को बहुत सारे जवाब मिले regarding not wearing footwears. One explanation the author got, that it is not because of poverty that they do not wear footwears. It is that tradition to be barefooted. Author को एक जवाब मिला कि ये नहीं कि हम गरीबी के कारण जूते चप्पल नहीं पहनते, ये तो हमारी परंपरा है कि हमको जूते चप्पल पहनना अलाउड नहीं है. The author thought to herself, is it really their tradition, or it is just an excuse to hide their perpetual poverty? Author सोचती है, क्या वाकई में इनकी परंपरा है, या इनकी जो कभी ना खत्म होने वाली जो गरीबी है उसको छुपाने का एक बहाना बना के इन्होंने रखा है. At the same time, the author recollects a story a man from ODP had just told her. That man, in his childhood. He lived in a village in Udupi. Udupi is a place in Karnataka. And in that village, his father was a priest. So when this man, as a boy, would go to the school, he would stop near the temple and pray to the goddess for a pair of shoes. वो स्कूल जाने के पहले मंदिर के बाहर रुकता था, भगवान से प्रार्थना करता था जूते के लिए. 30 years later, इस इंसिडेंट के 30 years के बाद, the author visited the same place. But now when she went there, she saw that the son of the new priest was now wearing shoes. So अब जो नया पुजारी था उसका बच्चे को उसने जूते पहने हुए देखा. So ऑथर को वही 30 साल पुरानी घटना याद आई, that how 30 years back a boy had prayed for a pair of shoes. So the children of priest now wore footwears, but the rag pickers move around barefooted. वो अभी भी नंगे पांव चलते हैं. One day the author saw, yes, the author asked Sahib, what is your name? क्या नाम है तेरा? Sahib said, my name is Sahib A. Alam. That is, the Lord of the universe, दुनिया का राजा. The author realized कि साहिब does not know the meaning of his name. उसको अपने नाम का मतलब नहीं पता है. If he knew it, he would stop believing his name also. अगर उसको अपने नाम का मतलब पता होता, दुनिया का राजा, लॉर्ड ऑफ द यूनिवर्स, वो अपने नाम से भी उसका भरोसा उठ जाता. So unaware what the meaning of his name is, Sahib roams along with the other barefoot rag pickers. They leave the house like morning birds in the early morning, चहकते हुए, खुश खुश, and they would disappear by noon अपना काम निपटा के and so on. So till now, Sahib was his own master. अपनी मर्जी से खुशी खुशी कचरा बीनने का काम वो करता था. One day the author observed that Sahib was standing outside a tennis court, watching two young men playing the game of tennis. Sahib said, I like to watch the game of tennis. मुझे टेनिस देखना पसंद है. The author understood that Sahib can only fulfill his dream of tennis by watching it. सिर्फ देखकर ही अपनी संतुष्टि या सपना पूरा कर सकता है. Because playing the game of tennis was a far reality for him. उसके जो हालात थे, circumstances थी, गरीबी के कारण वो सिर्फ देखकर ही अपना शौक पूरा कर सकता था. टेनिस वाकई में खेलना उसकी पहुंच से बहुत दूर था. The author saw Sahib wearing white tennis shoes under his discolored shirts and shorts. अपने मैले कपड़ों के नीचे उसने सफ़ेद टेनिस शूज़ पहने थे. When the author asked Sahib about the shoes, Sahib said, somebody gave it to me. किसी ने मुझे ये दिए हैं. The author realized that these are the discarded shoes of some rich boy. किसी लड़के ने इस जूते को फेंक दिए हैं because it has a hole in it. फट गया है, उसके लिए किसी के फेंके हुए जूते हैं. But Sahib, who had never worn shoes, so even a shoe with a hole was a dream come true. जिसने जूते नहीं पहने थे, ये फटा हुआ जूता भी एक सपने साकार होने वाली जैसी उसके लिए बात थी. One nice day, the author saw Sahib carrying a steel canister in his hand. Steel canister is steel का डिब्बा. अब तक साहब always used to carry a plastic bag on his shoulder. तो ऑथर ने देखा स्टील का कैनिस्टर लेके वो आ रहा है. When the author asked about it, क्या है ये? साहब showed at a distance, एक चाय की दुकान दिखाई, a tea stall, and he just told, I have taken up a job over there. I am paid 800 rupees and all my meals. So Sahib, till now he was a free bird. He had now become a victim of child labor. The author asked Sahib, do you like the job? Sahib looked to be sad. And the author thought that the plastic bag which he carried on his shoulder so easily was less heavier or was lighter than the steel canister which Sahib was carrying in his hand now. ऑथर ने महसूस किया कि जो स्टील का कनिस्टर है शायद बोझ है, उसका वजन ज़्यादा है कंपेयर टू द प्लास्टिक बैग जो अपने कंधे पे वो उठाता था, बिकॉज द प्लास्टिक बैग वॉज हिज। पहले अपना खुद का वजन उठाता था, बट नाउ ही इज़ बीइंग बर्डन बाय द टी स्टॉल ओनर। अब वो बोझ उठा रहा है चाय वाले के लिए एंड सो ऑन। सो साहेब हु इनिशियली वॉज हिज ओन मास्टर is no longer his own master. So ये है फर्स्ट इंसिडेंट अबाउट साहिब, जो पहले अपनी मर्जी का मालिक था बट अब दूसरे की मर्जी से अब उसकी ज़िंदगी चलने वाली थी। सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ दिस चैप्टर, लॉस्ट स्प्रिंग, स्टोरीज ऑफ स्टोलन चाइल्डहुड। चलते हैं आगे ऑन पार्ट 2। इट इज़ अबाउट मुकेश, अ बेंगल मेकर, एंड the title is I want to drive a car. Mukesh wants to become his own master. वो अपनी मर्जी का मालिक बनना चाहता है, but he is a victim of child labor. Mukesh belonged to Firozabad and he was determined to become a motor mechanic. Firozabad, a small town famous for its glass blowing industries, where most of the houses are engaged into making bangles. साहेब मुकेश भी उसी फैमिली को बिलोंग करता था। The author, when she spoke to मुकेश, मुकेश अपनी मर्जी से ऑथर को अपने घर लेकर गया। And in this violence of Firozabad, around 10,000 children like Mukesh are working. These people बचपन से ये काम करते आ रहे हैं, एंड दीज पीपल आर बॉर्न इन द कास्ट ऑफ बेंगल मेकर्स एंड दे कुड नॉट थिंक ऑफ अ लाइवलीहुड बियॉन्ड दैट। चूड़ी बनाने के अलावा ना वो कुछ सोच सकते हैं ना वो कुछ कर सकते हैं। एंड पीढ़ियों से इट हैड बीन सीन द जनरेशन, द पीपल दिस बेंगल मेकर्स हैड बीन मेकिंग बेंगल्स। द ऑथर मेट मैनी बेंगल मेकर्स ओवर देयर। द ऑथर सॉ द वर्किंग कंडीशन in which the bangles were being made, and she was shocked to see that the bangles were made in disastrous, filthy working conditions. And चूड़ी कैसे बनाया जाती थी? The bangles were made in dark and dingy cells. अंधेरे गंदे कमरे के अंदर चूड़ियाँ बनाई जाती थी। There were no windows, no ventilation, no air and light, and these bangle makers worked in front of furnaces with हाई टेम्परेचर। सो बंद कमरे के अंदर कोई रोशनी नहीं, कोई हवा नहीं, एंड गर्म भट्टी के सामने वो काम करते थे, वर्किंग विद द ग्लास पीसेस, टर्निंग देम इनटू सर्कल्स ऑफ बेंगल्स। एंड दिस बेंगल मेकर दे वर्क सो हार्ड एंड फॉर सो मेनी आवर्स दैट देयर आईज वर हैबिचुअल टू वर्क इन द डार्कनेस rather than the bright light outside. And the ironical condition was such that by the time the children would become adults, most of them would lose the brightness of their eyes. जब तक ये बच्चे adults बनते थे, अधिकतर बच्चों की आंखों की रोशनी कम हो जाया करती थी या कमज़ोर हो जाया करती थी या चली जाया करती थी। Mukesh's grandfather had become blind making bangles. In the family of Mukesh, Mukesh's father, Mukesh's brother, Mukesh's brother's wife, and Mukesh's grandmother were living. The grandmother tells that they have seen nothing but bangles throughout the life. The father of Mukesh, first he worked as a tailor, then a bangle maker, but he could not do anything for his family. The only thing which he could do for his children was give them the art or teach them the art, the skill of making bangles. वो अपने बच्चों को सिर्फ एक ही चीज़ दे पाए, चूड़ी बनाने की कला। The author met various people in the bylanes of Firozabad, and उसके अंदर she met the youngsters as well as the little ones. She just came across a bangle maker, a small girl named Savita, and she was circling bangles. Her hands were moving mechanically, मशीन जैसे उसके हाथ चल रहे थे, making bangles. The author thought, does this girl know what she is making? वो सोचती क्या है, छोटी बच्ची को पता भी है वो कितनी important चीज बना रही है. Then the author realized that this girl Savita will come to know the importance of bangles when she will get married. The day will come when red veil will be covered on her head. लाल चुनरी उसके सर पर ढकी जाएगी. Red bangles will be rolled onto her wrist. लाल चूड़ियाँ उसके हाथों में डाली जाएगी. And लाल मेहंदी उसके हाथों में रचाई जाएगी. So the day she will become a bride, that is the day this girl will understand the importance of the bangles which she is making, because the bangles signify the Indian woman's सुहाग. It is auspicious in marriage. शादी में एक शुभ चीज मानी जाती है. सविता के संग an old woman was sitting, and that old woman in a very sad tone दुखी होकर बोलती है, एक वक्त शेर भर खाना नहीं खाया. आज तक इतनी मेहनत करने के बावजूद भी एक वक्त शेर भर खाना भी हमको नहीं मिला. The author met the various youngsters also over there to know कि क्यों इनके बुरे हालात है इतनी कड़ी मेहनत के बावजूद भी. The youngsters told that they are trapped in the vicious circle, or their forefathers, उनके जो बुजुर्ग थे, बाप दादा थे, they were trapped in a circle by the middleman and the साहूकार. जो जमींदार थे, साहूकार थे, उन लोगों ने, और दलाल, the middleman, they had trapped their fathers and the forefathers, and वे भी इसी बोझ के तले अब दब चुके हैं. They worked so hard that now they have stopped dreaming over there. Their minds have become numb and they have lost all the ability to dream. अब उनके दिमाग में सोचने समझने की शक्ति खत्म हो गई है. अब तो उन्होंने सपने देखने भी छोड़ दिए हैं कि कभी कोई आएगा हमारे अच्छे दिन लाएगा. They also have accepted defeat from life like their elders have accepted. उन्होंने भी जिंदगी से हार मान ली है और उन्होंने दिमाग में बैठा लिया है, जीना यहाँ, मरना यहाँ, इसके सिवा जाना कहाँ. And they talk endlessly in a spiral that moves from poverty to apathy. Apathy is the opposite of sympathy, निर्दयता, to greed, लालच, and to injustice, अन्याय. तो बोलते हैं इस शिकंजे में फंसे हुए हैं, गरीबी के, लोगों के अन्याय के, लोगों के लालच के, एंड टू इनजस्टिस. इस जाल में फंसे हुए जहाँ से वे निकलना उनके लिए बहुत बहुत मुश्किल है. When the author heard this, she thought there are two distinct worlds existing in the bylanes of Firozabad. यहाँ एक नहीं दो दुनिया बसती है यहाँ पर. कौन सी? First is that poverty-stricken family where progress hampered by the disgrace of the caste in which they are born. एक दुनिया तो इस चूड़ी बनाने वालों की है जो अपने आप को कलंकित मानते हैं इस गरीब चूड़ी बनाने वाले खानदान में पैदा होने के लिए. एंड दूसरी दुनिया कौन सी? The other world is the world which controls them, the world which comprises of the sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of the law, the bureaucrats, अफसरशाही, and the politicians. And all of them, all together, they put so much burden on the children like Mukesh that by the time they realize and understand things, जब तक उनमें कुछ समझदारी आती है, they also accept defeat from life. वे भी जिंदगी में हार मान लेते हैं तब तक. But when the author asks Mukesh, what do you want to become? Mukesh confidently बोलता है that one day I'll become a motor mechanic. I'll learn to drive a car and एक दिन मैं मोटर मैकेनिक बनूंगा. तो ऑथर उसको पूछती है, do you also dream of flying airplane? एरोप्लेन उड़ाने का भी सपना है? मुकेश looks to be sad. He says no. तो मुकेश को दुख होता है for giving the answer as no. मुकेश feels sad for his decision of not wanting to fly an airplane. But he has no regret for his decision. उसको कोई पछतावा नहीं है अपने decision के लिए, because he was a down to earth person and He had seen a realistic dream, a dream which was within his reach, and उसने बिना मतलब के हवाई सपने नहीं देखे थे. So he had no lofty dreams such as flying the plane, but he was content. He was happy to dream of cars that he had seen in his town. So Mukesh, who is a victim of child labor, wants to become his own master. In contrast to Sahib, Sahib was his own master, but he became a victim of child labor. So friends, this is all about the summary of this chapter, Lost Spring, which is taken from the book Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood, written by Anish Jung, all about the experiences or the incidents of the victims of child labor. So that's all for today. Thank you all.